guys, welcome back to another episode of Pierce Wildlife.
Welcome.
Sorry we've been out for a couple weeks. We've had a lot going on. We've been wide open at the businesses and
planting season, baby.
Planting the dove field and getting the dove field wrapped up.
Protein for deer. I mean, just loaded down with all kind of things.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
Bush hogging.
Yeah, that's, man, with all this rain right now, I mean, wow. It's like.
Can't even keep up.
No, you can't.
You get off the bush hog, you get back on it next day.
I know. I just cut those center field, what was it, like 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
And it was so thick on my side of the field again that, like, I saw Annie riding her little motorcycle, her little electric motorcycle through the field, and it was, like, up to her handlebars.
Yeah, you know I had to be slapping her on her fingers.
Yeah. I'm like, I just cut this.
She don't care.
No, she's
having a good time.
She's having a blast.
Come in with whelps on her legs.
The problem is they're going to find one of them holes like that.
Yeah. Right now, she likes riding one-handed. What's up with that?
I don't know.
I told her, be careful, girl. She's doing good, though.
And she's like doing her little hips and like throwing her hands around. And I'm like, all it's going to take is one little rut.
I know, man. She's the prettiest little thing I ever seen riding a dirt bike.
I know. She is so cute. She is so cute. But yeah, so the other night, I guess it was Sunday night, I started cutting that your side of the field, the black stand.
Mm-hmm.
And I got about halfway through, and then Mississippi kite started coming in. I saw one of them, and for one of them came in and, started eating the grasshoppers. And then
that's funny. It's fun to watch them, actually.
I know, it really is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you're watching them out, actually last year was the same thing. Those cowbirds came in on me last year, and they're hopping around behind a bush hog. You can't even get by. You think you're going to run them over, and they'll get right up beside a bush hog and catching those grasshoppers right as they fly. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty good, dude. These things are interesting how they do things like that.
So they're pretty cool. I looked them up. They're actually, the Mississippi kites, they're actually not a falcon or a hawk. Wikipedia says they're a falcon-like bird.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never, but I got, what was cool was, anyways, so
what color is that bird?
It's like gray and white and all sorts of different colors. It's a
good-looking bird.
Yeah, it's really pretty. This is a picture of it.
Oh, wow. Thing looks like an eagle.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so I was watching this bird, and it was by itself for a while, and then by the end of cutting that field, there was probably, 7 or 8 of them. And what was cool was, like, if you can catch a grasshopper flying out, you can watch it, and it's going to get hit.
You'll see it in their beak. I mean, they were getting these monsters. I'm like, God, I didn't know they were that big out there.
I don't know if the cowbirds, do differently, but I was watching the Mississippi kites. They grab them with their feet, and they go up and they coast with their wings, and they feed it to themselves with their paws.
Oh, now that's cool. Now the cowbird didn't do that. He grabbed it with his beak and just kind of
Well, I saw the cowbirds. Mm-hmm. I watched those one time too, but I never seen the Mississippi kites do it. That was really cool because I assumed that when they caught them, they would go back to a tree, maybe like a hawk,
right,
and like eat it. But no, they don't. They just put the whole thing in their mouth with their foot and just chew it up while they're gliding.
Well, something else interesting. I had a hawk last year. I don't know if you've seen one of those yet, but they get on top of the old dead tree up there and to hang out and watching those field mice. You going out through there and, man, you'll just see them things take off and swoop down and grab one. It's interesting to see how those birds they react to things.
They're pretty cool for sure. That happened a lot when I cut the orchard, specifically the first year. There was 2 red tails, but this is when we were cutting it with the 5-foot.
Oh, that smaller bush hog.
But I mean, them hawks were there the whole time catching field mice. It's just cool to watch stuff like that.
It really is. I enjoy just, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like sitting on the bank watching water go by.
Yeah.
You just enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to get them cut before, which I know there might be a couple deer already dropping now, but I wanted to get them cut before they started dropping real heavy. And because that backfield was like, it had to be cut this year. I mean, it was bad. But I mean, it was good because we got trees off of it. We was able to plant some quail out there. And also I was sitting last night and they were just chattering back and forth. The loudest and the most quail I've ever heard talking over there.
Really?
Yeah.
You got it down pretty low right now? I didn't go over there and look.
Yeah, it's pretty low. I mean, I cut as low as it could go. I just, kept in low gear and just rolled.
Yeah. I bet it looks good.
It does look good. Before I cut it, though, it was really pretty because it had those, not the dandelions, but the yellow weeds.
You call that?
I don't know what you call
flower.
it. And then there was a bunch
wildflower, baby.
Yeah. And from where we planted the food plot, there was some rye growing up in between it as well. And so, man, it really could have been a good, what do you call it, wildflower,
right.
Picture area, but
yeah,
it had to go.
There you go. Did you cut the food plot deal, or
yeah,
you went ahead and cut it too? Because it had some wheat and stuff.
Yeah, there was.
I noticed there was some, a lot of clover growing up in there too. Was. So that's a good thing.
Yep, I cut all that. But yes, you're right. I mean, it's like every time you turn around, and even like Zach's side, it needs to be cut again too. And
man, you just can't keep up. Thank God he goes around and cuts the edges and all that and gets it all. That's right. Yeah.
But the rain and the sun right now is just crazy.
You can hear the stuff grow.
Yeah, you can literally watch it. I don't know what it is too, but that where we planted our garden is the ground right there. I tilled it maybe 4 or 5 times. I should have put some topsoil or something in it, but I mean that stuff gets hard if it ain't wet. Like it like stops the plant from growing because it's so hard. Like you can't even dig your hand through it.
Yeah, I know it.
But we've been keeping it wet every morning, so that's growing pretty good now. But
what about that dove field though? Man, that's some of the prettiest dirt. Man, we were very fortunate, very blessed to get a field to have that kind of soil in it to be able to grow things.
Yeah, we don't even have to do anything.
Not really.
That one year
add a little fertilizer and lime. We don't even need to really do that. That's just to keep it up.
That one year we ripped it with the mid what's that mid
subsoiler.
And ever since that, because I don't think we did it the first year. Did we use subsoil it the first year?
Yes, we subsoiled it the first year.
Okay, because I was like,
we didn't do it the next year, and then we done it again the next year.
Yeah, and that subsoiler, I think that the reason that it
digs deep,
stays so loose is because that subsoiler
and that tiller makes it nice.
Yeah, but yeah, that stuff's already growing. It was just planted. What last?
Ain't even been 7 days yet.
Yeah, last Friday, Thursday, I believe.
There you go. Last Friday.
It's crazy. Everything's coming up.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I was standing at one end and looking. He was a little bit crooked on his lines.
Yeah.
But it's growing up. It's a straight line down through. I was worried we wasn't going to get our fence up in time. Deer was going to start eating it, but thank goodness the line came in.
Yeah, doves stay on that field generally all year long. Like even when we was putting the fence up for everyone that's listening, I mean, there was probably 10 or 15 birds, and there's no food to even eat.
No,
they're just comfortable.
They just love that field. And they actually like eating a little bit of that dirt too. Yeah, I don't know what's in it, but it's got some kind of nutrient in it they like.
Yeah, for sure.
I like watching them light on them wires down there.
Me too. Man, I'm so excited. It's only 4 months.
Gosh, really?
4 months.
And it goes so fast.
I think 4 months yesterday.
Holy
if I'm not mistaken.
Goes by so fast.
I know.
Yeah.
Man, everybody that's hunted that field, whether it been opening day or the day after, or if it was a Labor Day weekend, we shoot it, Labor Day and then Saturday. Every year, there's not been anyone that could shoot that hasn't limited out.
Yeah, there's a limit every time.
And we have like 14.
Oh yeah,
every day.
That's right.
It's not a huge field. It's probably a 15-acre field, but only about 4 of it's planted and hunted. Maybe 5.
Yeah, it's probably about 5 since you count the corn and everything else
in between
it. Mm-hmm.
But man, that one group that came that one time, I'm not going to say any names, but dude, they sat on the best part of the field.
Yep.
And birds hitting them in the face.
I mean, literally. And they could have had a fishing net.
And caught them.
Caught them.
And they did not go home with maybe 2.
2 birds.
Well, no, they shot 2 maybe. I think they went. Well, I think me and you gave them some of ours.
It was we gave them a bunch of birds because we knew we'd go back and get some more.
Yeah. But that was the only time I remember.
Felt kind of sorry for them.
I know I did too, but they had said they hadn't done it in a while and all that, and I get it. And
but they had a ball.
Yeah,
I mean they're like, man, we want to come back again.
Yeah. Every year we have repeat customers that hunt that field. I mean, it's which last year we kind of mentioned that we was going to rent the field out to whoever wanted to rent it for a day.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple people interested in that, but we didn't really push it. No. I think that would be a good idea to do again if anybody's interested in that, just renting the whole field for a day that we're not hunting it.
We could have some people, and I don't know how you do that liking stuff, so.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you could get somebody to like or whatever. We get somebody, we'll pick somebody and let them come out on the field and hunt.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, if you comment on this post,
if you're
we'll draw a random winner from this post to hunt our field.
Yeah. We'll post that on our Facebook when we list it out.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And last year we had a banded bird shot off the
Sure
the
did.
field.
Well, had a banded bird.
We always do a pigeon pot.
Yeah, man, we had some pigeons last year.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, big white one on there last year. That joker was gorgeous.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun. That was fun.
It's always a good time.
I ain't going to say I had an opportunity to shoot one and I missed it. Well, just keep that under my hat.
Yeah.
Whoops, I just said.
Yep. Well, shoot, I had one fly before I called shoot them, or let's
right
go
or
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and I couldn't say shoot them, pow, you know what I'm saying? Win the pigeon
That's
pot.
what you should have been doing, aiming at him, and then about the time you seen him, shoot him, pow. Oh, that's funny.
I did win the pigeon pot one year, and it was like $50.
Yeah.
I mean, when everybody puts in $10 or $5, what do we normally do? I mean, it's not a bad little, little cash deal.
Yeah.
It is fun.
I think that one year, my nephew Nate
won it one time.
Yeah, he won it.
Yep.
Yep.
There's been a couple years nobody won it, and it was just donated back to the field, so we appreciate that.
Absolutely. That was nice. Yeah, that's seed, fertilizer, and time spent there, boy, I'm telling you. But for the fun
worth the time.
and what we do. Yeah.
Right. Well, when we pay to go.
And it's gorgeous. I mean, when the sunflowers come up, people get to take their pictures with it and stuff. Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, I mean, even when me and you and Zach would go pay to hunt on a field years ago before we started planting our own.
Exactly.
I mean, it was $1,000.
Exactly. So now we got our own field and we get to shoot it 2 or 3 times.
And before that, I would go to Joe Kerr's sometimes. And let me tell you right now, that's miserable.
Mm-hmm. Pat the guy on the back when you're standing there.
Right.
Good job.
Yeah. Good shot. I mean, I remember hunting on it one time, and I'm not joking, man. I was looking down this one field, and they're on a maybe a 200-yard stretch. There had to have been 10 or 15 people facing the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it's normally singles or 1 or 2 people. So it's just like crowded.
Mm-hmm.
Like terribly crowded.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
But I really, Joe Kerr's could do draws for stuff like that and would make it a lot more fun, really.
Right. Yeah,
but
it could.
It also takes away because, like, I don't know if you remember the year that we had that big storm come in like Thursday or Friday before the Saturday.
Oh, man. We had a big difference on our field.
Yeah, we had, hundreds of birds there. And then that storm came through, and we woke up that Saturday or that Friday. It was after the storm came through. There was no birds there on Friday.
No birds, and we had people coming.
And so I messaged
barbecue. We had all kind of. It was a good time.
I messaged everybody and was like, "Hey, look, this is where we are.
You coming at you right?
At this point, there's no refunds after you come to the field.
Right. We even offered to go to the next weekend if they wanted to, but they all wanted to come.
Yeah, everybody came. Besides that one group, they wanted their money back. They got their money back, and everyone on the field still shot their limit.
Right. But they wasn't flying like they were, but they were coming in scarce, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, there was quite a few still.
Still a good time, though. But when we went down to, what's Justin's daddy's name? I can't remember. Emmett. When we went down to his field now, he had a good field down there.
Shout out Cedar Rock Outfitters.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cedar Rock. We appreciate it. Y'all do a fantastic job.
Yep. You're right. He's got a great field.
Man, it was a good field. We had a good time down there.
One thing about their field that really stood out to me, and you've made this comment multiple times, is those peach trees.
I'm telling you, we need to do that.
It's the way to go.
Well, I was going to plant some this year, but with selling the house and trying to do other things, other commitments, just didn't have the time to get out there and do it. It was just enough time to get the field ready, get it planted, get the wires up, and now we can go but we still working on the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, see, now
but if we could have planted those peach trees, I feel like we would have a little bit better coverage. I don't know. It's just something about it.
Yeah. I like being able to see the orchard. I mean, the sunflowers, though. If we plant
I do, too. We plant them, it's going to block your view a little bit. Well, mine, too, when I get moved over.
You get moved over.
But, peach trees are good looking, too, so, it's kind of a little secluded little oasis down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. It'll be nice.
But now it's upkeep time. Now
we got to maintain, keep the weeds out, keep the grass off the wire. And one little piece of grass get on that wire, it starts cutting down on the effectiveness. Hopefully we can keep this deer out of here this year.
Right. Speaking of the wire. Oh, my God.
That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
We always make jokes. I'm going to tell a couple. I'm going to preface it a little bit, but long time ago, when we would plant gardens, me and Eden first started dating. She'd come over to the house when we had. And
I knew you was fixing to tell this.
We still plant gardens, and we've always planted gardens. But I'm saying this one time when me and Eden first started dating, she'd come over. We got the electric fence up. I'm probably going to sound like an asshole a little bit doing this, but it's funny, and she thinks it's funny. But anyway,
now,
yeah. So we're walking around the garden, and we just we might have been dating for a little bit. We could have been married. I don't know. But anyways, we're walking beside the electric fence, and I noticed she had no shoes on.
Oof.
And I did.
That's straight ground, baby.
And I just grabbed that. I just grabbed that wire, man, and it hit me a couple
Eden.
times, and then I grabbed her hand. And it shocked her so good. Well, the long story short of that is we done, that I like to pick.
Yeah, I know somebody else that likes to do that too.
Yeah, I'm
sure you'll tell that story.
Oh, I'm going there. That's where I'm going. So in the midst of all that, like, we've always played on each other. Like, you've shocked me 1,000 times. Like, it's just fun. Like, it
is.
And it don't hurt bad. It's just a little,
get you attention.
Right,
that's
get
all
your
it
attention.
Is. Same thing for the deer.
Right. So when we walk around these fields, we would like shock each other, and talking about me and you, and we turn the power switch on when we're not expecting it while we're holding the wire, just stuff like that.
Yeah, flip each other off across the field.
Right. Well, last night, and you were there for this, but I'm telling the people listening, is we're hooking up the wire. We got it all hooked up. So while you're tying up the last couple, connections, I go over to the power box, and I'm like getting it hooked up. Well, Flint's done made a couple jokes about, I want to turn it on. Let's turn it on pop. And the next thing you know, I'm like telling him, like, don't do that right now. Like, we don't know how strong this new wire is going to be because we changed the wire and all that. So I'm hooking this thing up, done mess with it a couple times, trying to get it set up right. And I didn't know that he had turned it on. No idea. I am holding the ground. I am
on the box. You're not even touching the wire.
I am holding the ground. I am grabbing the wire to hook up the power, and Flint turned on the power.
And took off running.
And it hit me so hard, my hand still is a little sore where I was holding the ground.
Left a mark.
Yeah, left a mark. And it popped so loud, you could literally hear it.
When it popped, Flint stopped and turned around and looked, and his eyes was as big as, I don't know what they were, but he turned around and looked at you, and he's like, oh, no.
So he takes off running again, but then he's like, oh, wait. It would be faster if I steal his electric bike, and then he can't get me. So then he jumps on my
ride to get out of there.
That's how I got there. He jumps on my electric bike. That's about as tall as he is, and is gone.
That was so funny.
Oh, my God.
Man, that was funny. I was giggling, but I was trying not to at the same time. And Curry, you said some words I don't think I've ever heard for my life.
It hurt, and I wasn't expecting it.
He said, man, I felt that in my chest. That hurt pretty bad.
It did. I've been shocked by those electric fences a ton. Like I said, I mean, we even grab them to make sure they're working good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was because I was holding that ground and I was bare grounded or
you
what.
Had both, dude.
I'm going to tell you
the box. You wasn't even on the wire.
I felt it from my right hand to my left hand and then back through it. I don't know. It was painful. Then I walked inside and I said, Flint, you're mine, buddy. He said, oh, no.
It was funny. That was so funny.
Oh, man.
He's still fretting it.
Oh, yeah. He's going to.
Yeah.
No question.
I think the anticipation's going to get him.
Yep.
Worse than actually getting him back.
Because I did tell him, I was like, I'm going to get you back. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, it's funny. I noticed him jumping around the island last night when you walked in. He was trying to stay in his distance. I says, don't worry about it, son. You got to go to sleep.
Yeah.
He said, Pop. I said, I'm just telling you.
Yeah. And it is true.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know when I'm going to get him back, but I'm going to get him back.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a good one.
Might wait for him to be shoeless walking around that thing and grab his hand.
That's funny.
Oh, man. We've had some good times, though.
Hey, I don't know. Have you ever told him about the 9-volt battery and how to test it?
The problem is I might had.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I could have him do that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be funny, though.
It is going to be funny. We have a good time.
But, yeah, I'm pretty excited about dove season this year. I think we're going to have a lot of birds for sure.
I think so. It was nice to see them flying in like that last night.
Yeah.
Get you excited. We were sitting there putting the wire on and two come flying toward us and then turn right over top of our head. Perfect shooting spot.
Yeah.
Makes you go boom, boom.
I mean, by the time we had left there, I mean, I think there was probably close to 10 or 15 that we had saw either circling or on the line.
Yeah, and we'll start putting out some stuff, get them regular to it until the seeds start falling. And then we'll, it really works real well. And there you go, cutting it loose.
Yeah, well, what we like to do is we actually don't spray our field to kill it before the season. We actually let ours naturally die, and then we try to plant it, time it right, which is always really difficult because you got to count Easter, which is a lot of people say, you're supposed to plant on Good Friday, talking about your gardens. Well, there's somewhat of a science to that.
It really is.
And when you think about it, like last year, Easter was in March.
Mm-hmm.
This year, it was like the end of April. And so when you consider the time frame in Easter versus when you get your last frost, I mean, that time frame could be pretty significantly different. So we try to make sure that we always plant the end of April, beginning of May, so that way that stuff starts dying real good in August. Right. And then what we do is we start cutting strips and cutting little crossroads in the field, so that gets the birds naturally coming, and we don't have to put any bait out after probably. I wouldn't say we don't even bait in August at all.
No, well, we try and follow the rules, keep it out of there.
But I say we cut probably 2 or 3 strips a week, and that just starts keeping them in there.
In fact, corn comes out right. I'm telling you, it's the perfect field.
Yeah, it is a great field.
Last year they eat it up, but this year we put the wire around it, the corn and everything. So.
Yeah, them deer, like we didn't have a corn come off any stalk last year. The deer ate up all the corn.
Yeah.
They say if you have a really dry year.
I think they were searching last. They needed it bad because we didn't have a lot of
rain,
food source for them to be able to eat off of. And, they were we just couldn't keep them out of the field. You'd walk up to the field and you'd see them. They'd stick their head up over the sunflowers, look at you.
Yep. Bucks and all.
Yeah.
Didn't run.
No, didn't care.
But yeah, there's somewhat of a science to planting that stuff for sure.
It's fun though, doing it, trying to figure out what's the best thing to do. Had a friend of mine tell me this year a little bit of something to add around the top edge of it. We're going to try that out too. It don't have to be put on there right now, but we need.
What's the name of that stuff?
Lord have mercy, I can't remember what he called that stuff. I ordered it though.
Plot saver.
Yep, plot saver. Yep. He said it's the best thing he's tried, and pretty much sum it up. You actually have the 3D fence that you put around it. You tie a rope all the way around the top edge of your fence, and it's got this special little chemical you mix into a bucket, and you put it on a sponge, and you go around the edge of it, and you wipe it on there, and you're supposed to put it on like every 3 or 4 weeks or something like this, go around, wipe it down. But he said you don't have to do that. You can put it on there, and if they stay out of there, it's fine. But if you see them start trying to get into it again, you go around the edge of it again, and actually deters them again. So we're gonna give that a whirl. He's pretty good at it, pretty knowledgeable. He's been doing this stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
And he has good results out of it. So we're gonna give it a try too.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, hunting but taking the corn, we take that corn, we actually cut us some little slots in it and make it to where we can set down in that corn, and it's really a good coverage. And it's I don't
shady
know.
too.
Yeah, shady. Helps out. It's cool.
Yeah.
Last year we had to use hay bales.
Yeah.
They worked okay, but they blocked
okay.
your view a little bit when you're sitting
that,
there.
And there was no shade to them.
No, and I think they even blocked the wind if you had any kind of wind, because we didn't have a whole lot of wind coming through there.
Yeah, I took a dang tan umbrella.
That big tan umbrella.
Kind of matched the color of the hay bales and shoved it down in there.
I don't think it affected them either.
No, it didn't. We still wore them out. Mm-hmm. Which also, I'll tell you something else that we did this year. Well, that I did in front of me. I've got a couple of them Mojo doves.
Mm-hmm.
I put 2 of those out and then 4 just standard dove decoys. And they were really locked in on coming to us.
To that.
Like, obviously they were all over the field, but like they were landing with those decoys. And what was really cool about that was that gave, which Eden didn't really need it, but that gave Flint and Annie and Forrest more of an opportunity to shoot the bird, because they would hover a little bit more in front of you. But the only problem with that was they were landing in the decoys, which means they were landing 20 feet in front of you.
Right.
And if you shot it with a heavier gauge barrel, I mean,
you're destroying the bird.
Right.
And maybe even blowing up the decoy.
Right. And shooting the decoy. I bought Forrest a little 410. There's this, I forget the name of it.
Again, the 410.
Yeah, I love the 410.
Mm-hmm.
I was at one of my buddies' place in Barnesville AMP Armory, and he had a little used 410 single shot. And it was kind of a cool little 410, because when you break it open, it don't just like break, you know, down. Like it folds in half.
Oh, wow.
So the whole gun is maybe, 15,
like
20
one of those
inches.
Old BB guns, you fold it in half.
That's exactly how far it folds. But that thing's super light, so I bought that because I felt like Forrest would have a little bit better opportunity to shoot birds with that lighter 410. And then Annie can use the black one that I have, just because they're so young, they want to do it, but it's hard to find a gun that fits them,
It is.
And then I bought Flint that 20 gauge youth model. I didn't realize, which I don't know if I've said this on any previous episodes, but that, what's that? Weatherby. That Weatherby that I bought him, the 20 gauge.
Yeah, it's a nice shotgun.
I didn't realize that wasn't a youth model gun. So he's been trying to shoot this gun.
Really?
And it's a full size. And what I realized,
it don't weigh that much though. It's not too terrible.
Yeah, you're right. But it is probably a pound or 2 lighter than, heavier than that youth model that I just got him.
Well, that's good for him though. Build strength. He wants to play football anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going to be good. We're excited because now as of this year, we all have our own gun.
How about that?
So, Eden had... it
was fun with Flint coming over and sitting with me last year. That was nice.
Yeah, I think he's going to probably enjoy it a little better this year, because we've been working with some skeet a little bit, and I think he's going to enjoy it a little bit better.
That's right. We need to enjoy it now, because he's going to be sitting by himself for too long.
Right, with one of his buddies.
That's right. Come on, I want you to go shoot the field with me.
Yeah. Well, hold on now. He's got to pay too.
Yeah, I hear you.
No, I'm just joking. Funny. I guess that'll be a perk to one of his buddies.
Yeah, it's fun watching right across that field. That Ranger and got his little stuff. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, he's got he's
living his best life.
Got his little cooler full of Sprite, a couple birds in the back, shotgun beside him.
Yeah, and he likes to go shirtless.
Yeah,
little redneck.
Man, not to like relive or to live through him, but what would it be like to be 10 and have that opportunity he has?
Yeah, I didn't have that when I was his age.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you had the opportunity.
I did, but it just didn't.
Right, it was different. We were racing a lot back then.
We were racing and hot rodding.
But we did it when we could.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's enough bird talk tonight.
Oh, well.
We're going to have to cut this thing
off.
over
already?
Yep, over already.
Hate it. I love it.
Well,
thank y'all.
Yeah, thank y'all for listening. Really, we'll be back on schedule after this episode. So we appreciate you guys listening.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And don't forget, if it makes you shake, don't wait, don't hesitate. Shoot that thing.